Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X, NGR's radio Xbox podcast. Throwing up the X, of course. Yes.
Woo!
Haha. Yes. Thank you guys for joining us. Joining me is my main man, my boss, Mr. Corey Dirrig. What's up, sir?
I'm alive. I'm here. Woo! Dude,
Welcome back from vacation.
I know. I'm so happy. Dude, okay, so I told myself I was going to unplug from everything, which I did for the most part. I did. But I missed it. And then I got home and, dude, last week's episode was so good. I was like, man, Ed should host all the time. Ed should just host all the time. Because he's way better at it than I am. And you just got this natural thing, man. Yeah. But man, I missed it so much.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Hopefully that you did enjoy the little commercial breaks. And hopefully for all you viewers who actually tuned in, sorry once again that we didn't have a video format, but hopefully you guys did enjoy the audio and like the commercials and the music and stuff. But also joining my man from Wisconsin, my 4-hour drive if I ever come. Yes, everybody please welcome Jesse Douglas.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hi. You went to amusement park today. How was that?
Yeah, it's called Bay Beach. It's basically like they got, one big roller coaster that's like those old school ones that's made out of all wood and stuff like that. And then they got like just all kinds of, like rides like you'd see at the carnivals and stuff like that, and things for the kids, a train that kind of takes you along the water, and like one of those small train things that you just ride on the little tracks. And it's been a while since I've been there. I went a couple of times when I was younger. It was like one of those destination areas for kids always, and I had a lot of fun. The kids had a lot of fun. My 3-year-old daughter and my 6-year-old son both went on the tilt-a-whirl, which I'll never go on. I can't do that kind of stuff. The spinning around fast in circles doesn't agree with me. So
you be throwing up, or
yeah. So yeah. Well,
okay.
I don't know if I'd throw up. I've never really tested it, but I just I do get motion sickness. Like every once in a while, if I'm trying to play like Game Boy or something in my car, or, do something on a screen like that, it will screw with me, and I do kind of feel nauseous. I've never actually or whatever,
Sorry, you just threw me off.
Watching stuff on the tablet.
Well, okay. Well, everybody, in case if you didn't know,
hope you wore your Jinko
Eddie...
jeans to fit that Game Boy in your pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I am your host, Eddie V. I didn't know if I mentioned that, but I'm mentioning it now, just in case if you guys didn't know.
Are you Eddie V?
Yes, I am Eddie V.
I'm sorry. I'm just really amped to be podcasting. I'm just like,
Yes.
Sorry, if you watch the video just now, I just threw my shoulder out by getting really excited.
But we got a great show planned for you guys. But before we actually get to a show, to even what we've been playing, our very own Corey Dirrig has some updates for you guys. Corey, what's our updates? Let us know.
All right, so well, not a lot of people, but some people have been asking me because we have the PAL Block Facebook group where people can go talk about Nintendo and stuff, and that group is starting to grow a little bit, and I'm pretty happy with the growth that group has seen. So we decided to start an Arsenal X Facebook group. Just search Arsenal X, NGR, Arsenal X, whatever. You'll find the Facebook group. We don't have enough people in the group yet to make a proper URL, but when we get there, it'll probably be like Arsenal X Podcast or something. So we have a Facebook group, and Arsenal X is getting its own Twitter account, and it's also It also has its own email account now. So if you want to email us your questions or concerns or thoughts, you can now email the show at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. So I'm pretty happy with the growth of this show. We've grown significantly in the last couple weeks, especially last week, Ed. I'm pretty jealous actually of especially the YouTube views, highest viewed Xbox video that we've gotten, and like one of the highest viewed videos that we've had ever. So good job, guys.
Oh,
and
thank you.
It wasn't even a video, but that's okay. It's just text that says no video this week. Eddie V and Jesse will be talking in the videos next week. But that episode was really good. Also, before we get into the show proper, we are going to explore the format that Ed did last week, and we're going to start exploring that in our other shows as well. We want to start promoting not only this show but our other shows, and we're starting an NGR Radio store. We have a bunch of designs getting ready to launch the store in the next week or two, probably the next week. So keep a lookout for that. I'm pretty excited. I'm really excited to be a part of this with you guys and everybody else, and Matt and Moose and Jason and everybody else who's involved. It's just, yeah, I'm really proud of what we've done with this. So good job, everybody. Yay.
Yes.
So, but yeah, email address is arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. There's a Facebook group. There will be a Twitter account for Arsenal X also coming soon. And I don't know, I've been exploring the possibility of doing Instagram at some point with the shows. I know Moose and Jason do Instagram with NGP, so I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to start slow and then move from there. So join the Facebook group.
Yes.
We need you.
Yeah. Join the X Nation.
Yes.
Oh, now I just look like a porn site because we just threw up 3 X's. Just kidding.
Well, yours
Arsenal
is like,
X after hours.
You know what they say.
Mine's is
Sex
with my hands
sells.
open. It is true. And you got 3 of the sexiest
hours.
beasts.
After hours.
Oh wow.
Sorry.
Well,
Hello there.
oh, that was very Duke Nukem of you, Jesse.
What's that?
I'm all out of gum.
Yeah. I'm gonna rip your head off and shit down your neck.
Oh wow. Well, before we continue, what's been in your arsenal? That's our name for what we've been playing. But yeah, Jesse, what's been in your arsenal?
Not too much this week, but I've been playing Xbox exclusive by the name of Sunset Overdrive. So I've been playing that a little bit this week, and it was, it's always a lot of fun to play that game. So
Nice.
jumping around and blowing stuff up and
Anything else have you been playing?
Well, I think I did actually play Siege a little bit too, but that's about it, I think. This week I just kind of been slow on the game, on the games for Xbox anyways. I have been playing Mario Rabbids for Switch a lot.
Yes.
Yes. Well, let our viewers and audience members know, how was the game?
It's I love it. It's it may not be a Nintendo made game, but it feels and looks exactly like something that Nintendo would make for their systems, and it's definitely been a lot of fun and very not time consuming. I mean, it has, but it's just been addicting. It's they got a lot of fun stuff to kind of keep you wanting to play, and there's a lot of humor and not too much of it, and like the way they did everything, the mix of the game, the fighting, and the puzzle solving. It's just a lot of fun. It's perfect mix of everything. It's definitely a must get for the Switch. So
Oh, that's awesome. Really good. I am looking forward to getting it. Hopefully when I pick up my Switch, I'll be able to play that game. Definitely a must have in my arsenal also. But yeah, Corey, I know you've been out of town, but have you just did something recently. So what's been in your arsenal?
What do you mean did something recently? Are you talking about my Horizon thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I finally I stayed up real late last night playing Horizon and I platinumed it. It's my first platinum trophy. I'm pretty excited. I don't really care a lot about trophies or achievements, but that game was I wanted to give that game I felt like the best thing I could do for that game was to platinum it just to because Gorilla really just kind of pulled it out and was did a really great job with this game and I would really like we always talk about what Microsoft could do to have a first party that people care about, like Nintendo and PlayStation. And not that people don't care about Gears of War or Halo or Forza or anything, because I love all those franchises. I am a huge Gears of War. I think Gears of War is their best IP right now. I love the Xbox IP. I love the stuff that's been dormant for a while. But, Horizon is a game that I would almost go out on a limb and say it is it is the best PlayStation 4 exclusive. I'm just going to say that flat out. It's PlayStation's best exclusive. But it's got this weird element we don't really talk about unless we talk about Nintendo games a lot, and it's got this just you can see that Guerrilla really poured their heart into this game and everything that they did, because they've been stuck on Killzone for so long that you're just like, oh, okay, it's Guerrilla. They put out a fine first person shooter for Sony, but it's weird, and then you see them take the 3, 4, 5 years to work on this game specifically, and their first crack at a game outside of a linear first-person shooter it's amazing. It's astonishing, and on other shows, I don't want to spend too much time on it because we've talked about it so much, and we're gonna do Ed and I are gonna do an episode on Horizon and how it tackles a lot of issues and a lot of things that we think are important, but if they can fix the way Aloy controls, and if they can fix some of the issues I have with like climbing and mobility and stuff, like they have this sequel is just gonna be like it's gonna be something special, and in this game something special, but that sequel is gonna be like, man, people are gonna be busting down doors to be buying that game. I don't know how this game hasn't sold more than it has. I think it's still sitting at like 4 million copies, which it's nothing to sneeze. It's nothing to sneeze at. That's a good solid first entry to an IP. But
Yeah.
I mean, I wish more people would play this, and I know this is an Xbox podcast, but all of us here we game on every platform, and we try to appreciate games that are good despite the platform. And if you have some way to play this game, and you can even just play through the story now. There's a story mode that's easier than easy, that if you don't want to do all the combat stuff and you just want to see what happens to the story, which I think I'm actually going to go back through and do at some point, just because sometimes you miss some of the story because your volume's down, or someone's talking to you and you're not really paying attention or whatever. But I really want to go back through the story and play it. But it is worth looking at. It is worth playing for sure. So I loved it. But I platinumed that. I started Hellblade, which is a really interesting experiment from Ninja Theory. Not a great, quote, game, but everything that they were trying to do technologically, the way they play with sound, the way they play with the environment, the way the environment shifts. You see a lot of Devil May Cry in terms of the environment change. And not combat, definitely not combat wise, but like the way the environment shifts, or you walk through a doorway and then you turn around and there's a different environment there than when you walk through, that kind of stuff. Really cool. Definitely. I think it's on sale on PSN actually. So if you have a PlayStation, I think it's only like $23 this week or something. But it's really good. And then in terms of Xbox, I reinstalled Gears of War 4. I deleted it because I was playing Mass Effect and I needed room on my box. But I reinstalled Gears of War 4 because Jesse was playing it, and I really want to go back and play some Dodgeball. Because Dodgeball,
it's a fun game.
Gosh, Dodgeball is the best mode in Gears, man.
And I apologize to you, Jesse, about my situation. I really wanted to play Gears with you too.
Yeah,
Ed's got this weird router that won't let him play multiplayer games.
Yeah, and it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we still ended up talking and stuff. So
you know what we need to do? Honestly, we need to get a co-op Let's Pod and Play with either Gears of War 4 Horde mode or like Halo 5 story mode or something to that effect. Get an Arsenal X, Let's Pod and Play thing at some point.
Yes.
So yeah, I was thinking about that on my way home the other day. I was like, because we need to film some Let's Pod and Plays, and I was like, how cool would it be if we just did a Gears 4 Horde mode, the three of us, and just tried to burn through it?
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I don't play Horde mode stuff as much as I used to. Like I said before, I loved ODST, Halo ODST and stuff like that, and and that was basically a Horde mode type thing, and I love that kind of stuff. Like even back in the day, I remember playing GoldenEye and N64 and just putting on bots and just going around with my friends, and we would just take out the bots and stuff.
Yes.
So I mean that's always been an interest for me. Just going up against a bunch of AI and just having fun with friends. So definitely miss that kind of stuff.
The gaming back in the day, early 2000s. Well, if that was all it's been for you, Corey, the things that's been in my arsenal is just like Corey. I finished Horizon Zero Dawn. I am gonna go back through it. I'm doing New Game Plus on easy. Kind of still want to get a couple of things. Really enjoying that game. Kind of want to see how quickly I could get through it on easy. Because I beat it on normal on that. Finished Mass Effect Andromeda on 1. Kind of a real cool ending. I was telling Corey that the side missions are longer than the main mission itself. And the way that the final mission is done, it's kind of, it's cool, but it's like you really don't fight like a boss or anything. But I enjoyed the game. It's not my game on my game of the year list, but it's enjoyable. Been playing Nier Automata on PlayStation 4. It's getting very average. I'm kind of not saying that I'm losing a lot of interest in it, but it's just like I'm going through the motions of that game, and it feels like if I don't get any more action than what they're giving me now, is kind of getting more to the point of being a bit boring, a little bit bland. It looks beautiful. The action is fast paced, which Platinum is known for, like really good. But I'm getting like Bayonetta 2 withdrawals through that game. Like you were hitting different points and you was always doing something or always watching some kind of cutscene or funny cutscene. and I'm not getting that in Automata. But I mean, it's still a cool game, but it's not. I can't place it in my Game of the Year edition. I mean, Game of the Year nomination, I should say. Playing Project X Zone 2 still on 3DS. Truly love that game. I'm getting a little bit further. I just did the Mega Man X level. So now I'm in like dot hacks kind of world right now. And I for some unknown reason the female from Space Channel 5 has showed up in the game. And so I haven't got a little bit further in it. Right now, she's just doing a whole bunch of talking in it right now. So I'm trying to get through all that dialogue. And I feel like I'm going to replay this game and just skip all the dialogue and get more into the fights. Because the fighting in this game is super fun. I really love it. But they just talk too much as usual. And I'm going to be hooking up my Wii U and working on those games like Tokyo Mirage Session and Paper Mario. I keep getting backtracked and hooked on Xbox One and PS4 games, trying to finish them stuff. Jesse, you might actually be happy about this. I just reinstalled Just Cause 3. So I didn't play a lot of it. It's still at the point where I just need to go on to a story mission. So I'm going to be getting back into that game soon.
Nice.
Oh.
I think Jesse's muted on accident.
Yeah, I did. It was muted.
It was
That's
the
right.
cat's
I
fault.
put it on. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, the only bummer about starting up Just Cause 3 again is like you will have to do a little bit of grinding stuff to unlock some of the things that make it a little bit more fun to just fool around and and have fun with the physics and stuff like that.
Well, I have my data saved from my previous game. It's just that I had to just install the game back on my PS4.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay, that's good.
So yeah, because once I got my 1 terabyte for my PS4, I moved everything to my external hard drive. But I just didn't install the game. Like I kept the save, but the installation I took off. So, but I'll just reinstall that. So, and then I'll be jumping back into Final Fantasy 12 a little bit later. But I'm ready to hook my Wii U back up and get through a lot of those Wii U games like Tokyo Mirage Session. I need to beat Paper Mario Color Splash. I need to beat Zelda Breath of the Wild. I need to beat and Star Fox Adventure. I need to start playing and stuff because I just need to get back to my Wii U and play a lot of that. And I'm thinking of jumping back into Dead Rising 4 because I know that game is coming to PlayStation 4. But this is an Xbox podcast. So with that, everybody, we're going to get into our Arsenal news. Anything else that you guys have to say or anything? Any games that you need to bring up? Or are you guys ready to get into our Arsenal news?
I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Sorry. I'm good.
Okay.
I think, right? I'm good. Sort of.
All I got is I'm hoping that we hear news that Xbox is going to be supporting VR with some of that stuff that I've seen.
Well, did you see those Windows headsets?
There was. Yeah, well, yeah, they were. I think what they were is they're going to be VR, but they're also augmented reality as well.
Yeah.
They can do both.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping that we're going to hear eventually that those are going to be supported on the One X.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. That's going to be really interesting. I don't care about VR, but I think AR is the future of that kind of like, I think heads-up displays and like warnings and stuff like that in the real world are a much better use of that technology than VR.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been wanting that for years, and like there's all this talk where like cars were gonna have that kind of stuff in windshields soon and stuff, which was super intriguing. And I listened to, I don't know if I'm not really a car guy at all. Like, I don't know anything about cars, but like Tesla, I listen to Ride the Lightning, which is a Tesla podcast, and they do a lot, and it's actually done by Ryan McCaffrey, who does Unlocked.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you know, they talk about the technology and the Teslas and stuff all the time, so it's super intriguing, and like that kind of stuff is what I think Microsoft is moving towards. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a need for both of them. You know, like if you know what that headset can do, where it can do both, I think is really what needs to be done. Is just because like there's just certain worlds that if you want to be put into, you have to have VR, and you know, and certain, because if you want to be completely, you know, brought into a different world, that's going to be the only way to do it. But
yeah, it's gonna be.
I definitely think, I definitely think that's the way to go, to have something that can do both.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, our first story, for all you people who haven't bought an Xbox One, guess what? Microsoft got a great deal that's going on. You could, if you buy Xbox One S, you could get 2 games free from the Microsoft Store. So I believe this also applies to if you order it online from Microsoft.com. So the bundles are Xbox One S 500 gigabyte for a Battlefield 1 bundle and 2 free games. For these ones, for the 500 gigs, they're $249. So you have like I said, the Battlefield 1 bundle, you have Madden 18, you have Gears of War 4, and you have Forza Horizon 3. So all of those are $249, and then you get to pick 2 selected games. But they also added the 1 terabyte Xbox One S bundles to 2 free games, which is Halo Wars 2 and Gears of War 4 bundle. So if you guys who haven't picked one up, you can look into that, and those 1 terabyte is a great price of $299. So in case if you don't have the money for or you know you don't have a Switch because you can't find one, these deals are really good for you guys to pick up. What do you guys think about it?
Cool.
I think it's great.
Yeah, for sure. Man. You just reminded me that Forza Motorsport 5 was free on Xbox Gold this month, and
yes,
I was like,
I just downloaded it.
I'm like, I was gonna get Forza Motorsport 7, but now that 5 is free, I don't know if I'm gonna need to buy 7 because I don't have an X.
And just to let everybody know that this promotion is running through September 9th, so you have until Friday midnight to get one of these. Yeah.
Nice. I was distracted because Jesse posted this thing that said, "How do you poop?" And I was looking at all the different ways people, apparently how many ways people poop.
It's just a joke thing. It's not meant to be serious, but it's hilarious though.
But you can imagine that people really do poop like that at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure, especially when you're dealing with kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why is this guy inside the toilet?
All that you can see is his head coming out of it.
This is, oh my gosh, it's a good thing we don't have news so we can talk about poop.
Well, I only have one more story for you guys for Xbox One. The first raid for Destiny 2 will be releasing a week after its original launch. Luke Smith, who is the director of Destiny 2, posted on his Twitter page that there will be no raid tease for Destiny 2 first raid. It will launch at 10 a.m. Pacific on September 13th. Trials arrive at 10 a.m. September 15th. They didn't go into details about it, but for those who are picking up Destiny 2, you do have to wait that following week for that raid. Apparently I am going to be raiding. There was a little mix up. Yeah, there was a little mix up with my bank account, so I'm not able to get Destiny 2 right away, but I'm definitely going to be picking up that following week on Xbox One. So I'll have a lot to catch up on.
They put out a live action trailer while I was on vacation, and that got me pretty hyped. I wasn't at all excited for Destiny 2. Like, yes, I'm excited, but I wasn't like feeling the hype of Destiny 2. And then every time Bungie puts out one of them live action trailers, it's just like, the hype. And I really hope Destiny 2 is everything they're saying it's going to be, and I'm really looking forward to playing this game casually and not so hardcore this time around, because for those who have been following me for a long time know that was the only game I played for like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months at a time, and then I would drop it and then go back and drop it and then go back. And yeah, I'm looking forward to just playing casually, real casually, one character per platform.
And it was fun when you joined me when we just played and we talked and kind of our pre-early partner play.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, and that's the thing is if all of us are probably, if we all get it, we're all gonna it's gonna be something that we play casually. And so it won't be like one of us is like super overpowered, and we can all kind of somewhat be on the same level almost, because I do definitely want to get it too and play it, and it would be fun to play with people, because it seems like that's kind of the way to play it as a group.
Yeah, we're gonna have to form a Arsenal X clan, so all of our listeners can come be in our clan, and we're gonna treat it, or we should treat the clan as just like, hey, this is casual group, guys. People aren't really taking Destiny too seriously in this group, so you can, don't yell at somebody if they never ran a raid before or anything. So we should do that. That'd be good.
Yes. It would be like a let's learn for me, because I did none of the raids in the first Destiny. I tried it in the Destiny 2 beta. It was okay. I didn't really find it interesting or anything. It's like it just feels like a mission, but without the extra fat added onto it. So
yeah. Yes.
But yeah,
Destiny 2. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Yes. Titan Master Race, Captain America Shield. Woo! Sorry.
I'm going with was it the Hunter? It was the female one that I went with.
Well, you'll be able to pick your gender. It's the genders aren't class specific. They just randomly assigned you a gender and a race, I think, for the beta. I almost said demo, the beta. But yeah, you'll be able to do what you did in Destiny 1. You'll be able to choose your gender, your race, and your class all separately. So
cool. And I know the PC players got to do it last week. They got to play I think Tuesday to Thursday, but I think they ended up extending the playtime also for that. So I still need to look on YouTube to see if anyone played it at 60 frames. And I also got to talk to our good friend from Nerd Overdrive, Lee, and Ray, and talk to them and see what their thoughts about it. I kind of want to hear how the PC version ran. It looked like it ran fine, but I just want to know from them. So. Yeah, and guys, do check out Nerd Overdrive, their podcast, Phoenix Overdrive. Very great podcast. So do give them guys a listen.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into our Arsenal Exchange. This is our topic where we just discuss stuff all related to Xbox, and we're definitely are looking forward to Xbox One X coming in November. We know we talked about how they did good with their pre-sales, and they got another pre-sale coming up for for this month of September. But I want to ask you guys, what do you think if Microsoft didn't make these pre-sales? What would happen with Xbox? Do you think this would be not the ending of the brand or Microsoft, but do you think that their gamble that they're making didn't pay off? Like, what are your guys' thoughts about that?
You mean like the X, like the gamble with the X?
Yes, if their Project Scorpio pre-sales didn't get filled, didn't sell out.
I just, I don't think. I think pre-orders are a good way to gauge this, like gauge how many people are interested and like, what kinds of things people are looking for. I don't think that that's necessarily determines if you succeed or fail, because I mean the Wii U pre-orders sold out, right? And like that sold 13 million over 4 or 5 years, and the Switch might actually outpace it in its first year. So I mean, numbers don't really say anything, but I'm not placing the Xbox One or Xbox One X in the Wii U's position, because it's not that at all. I know that Xbox is a awesome box to play games on and have a great online experience with and everything. The X is just, it's the premium box. It's just, another another box in their arsenal. Yeah, I went there. I think Microsoft is all right now. Their first party profile is not very. There's not a lot out there, especially this fall, for first party stuff, right? That's not a secret. I'm not trying to put them down or anything. That's just the reality. But Microsoft is giving you choice on where to play games, which is something that the other consoles don't really do. You can play on an Xbox One, you can play on a PC, you can play on an Xbox One X, you can stream to a tablet or stream to a PC. Like they're giving you options where to play. And you have the option to, play on a PC. The Xbox is more of a platform now than it is a physical box. Whereas PlayStation and Nintendo, they're physical boxes that they need to sell. Whereas, from here on out, at least, first party products are going to be available through the Windows 10 store, and you're going to be able to play Xbox games on your PC. So for me, like the pre-order thing doesn't really tell me a whole lot, except that people are ready for a more powerful box. People are ready to play their favorite Xbox One games in 4K. They're ready to play them at a strong frame rate. And you know what? A lot of people are forgetting that PUBG is being published by Microsoft for this fall for the preview program. And that game is selling like crazy on PC, and that game fits the Xbox mold very well. It is a multiplayer game, multiplayer shooter with a lot of strategy and a lot of tactics to it. Requires a strong online connection. Requires the best of the best, which I think out of the three consoles, I think everybody, even PlayStation owners, will say that Xbox Live is the strongest of the online networks. If you wanted to run it at a smooth 60 frames a second, the Xbox One X is probably going to be your best bet. I know they're saying it's going to run at 60 on an S as well. But, some games, when they run at 60 frames on an S or an original Xbox One, they do get a little framey. They do. Just because the Xbox One is not as powerful as the PS4, but when you get the X in there, it's going to run at a strong 60. And PUBG might be the game to push people who are interested in that game to buy an X. That could be the game. And it could come to PS4 later, but this is going to give console players something to look forward to, and the X is going to be the perfect box for that. I know I'm actually really excited to play Battlegrounds. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a cool game. I think just the idea of this battle royale where the map gets smaller, and if you're outside that zone you're going to die, or if you're inside the zone they're going to force you to fight your way through it. Like, that's a cool concept. And a lot of those games exist on PC, but this is kind of the first taste console players are getting, because H1Z1 or what was that other game, DayZ, never came to consoles like they said it was, and this is the first time. And Microsoft's taken the initiative, saying, look, let's grab that game, let's put it in our preview program, let's push it to sell the X. Crackdown got pushed, so this is going to be our big holiday game with Forza. Hey, you've got a strong lineup. I think a strong enough lineup. You got Cuphead, you've got Forza, you've got PUBG, you've got Assassin's Creed. You've got all the strong third-party games. You've got Call of Duty, you got Assassin's Creed, you got Battlefront, Destiny 2. Like, you've got all the strong third-party games, and maybe Xbox, pushing Crackdown, probably going to help that game in the long run, not only from a development standpoint, but for sales. I mean, if that game comes out in May, not a lot of games come out in May. If you got March, April, May tied up with Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, Crackdown, like, you're getting the ball rolling here. This is a new console. You're getting a strong lineup. You're getting your portfolio ready to roll into 2018.
That's what me and Jesse was talking about last episode. Like, they're doing the Nintendo approach of setting their games, like big games, like month after month after month. And definitely you want something really strong to go with your OX. So if definitely with Crackdown 3, if they need to really go in and make that game better, like improve it so that it runs smoother on OX and other platforms, then yeah, delay it so you guys will have that title of the month.
Yeah, and the thing is like, we have a couple questions. I sent them to you in the Facebook chat, Ed. I don't know if you got them yet or not, but like, one of the questions is, do you think Xbox? It was something along the lines of, do you think Xbox is gearing up IP to push the Xbox One X? And I really think they are. I think they are really gearing up to launch some really strong software next year. I think next year is probably going to be the strongest year Xbox One has had since they've come out on the market. Since the year of Gears 4, Tomb Raider, and Forza. Like, that lineup was awesome. But this is going to be like, I'm sure we're going to see Halo 6 at some point soon. That's definitely going to push the hardware. We're going to get a Tomb Raider sequel. Probably not exclusive to Xbox, but we're going to get that. We are going to get that awesome Tomb Raider sequel. We're going to get Crackdown. We're going to get some IP that, has been dormant for a while. They said they have a lot of projects in the works that they don't want to announce too early, because Crackdown 3 was announced too early. They came out and said that. And it's this is where we were with the Switch last year, probably like December. We're like, okay, we've seen the commercial for this game. What games are coming to this platform? And it's exactly what we're seeing with the Switch this year. We got Zelda, Mario Kart, ARMS, Splatoon. Now we've got Fire Emblem Warriors. We've got Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Mario Odyssey, Skyrim, NBA 2K, FIFA, Pokken Tournament. We got the Shovel Knight expansion first. We got this really cool Street Fighter 2 upgrade. We got Bomberman. We got all these cool indie games. Like, this is the ramp that we're seeing Microsoft starting to climb, and I really feel like the X is coming out, launching with not launching with Forza, but you know what I mean. Forza is going to be the strong game to show off the box. Next year we have Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, State of Decay, 3 major titles that Xbox is pushing, and I really think once people start seeing what Sea of Thieves is, they're going to really get into it. A lot of people love State of Decay. It's the highest selling Xbox Live Arcade game ever, the first one. So people are going to be buying State of Decay 2. And then Crackdown 3. Crackdown, a lot of people love that first game. A lot of people love Crackdown. And, Agents of Mayhem kind of filled that void this year, but Crackdown's pushed to next year. They're working on it. They've got 4, 5, 6 more months to work on it. Could be pretty awesome. And then, that leads them right into E3, where they're going to announce their fall lineup. Yeah. Wow. Sorry.
Yeah, and no, that's good. Jesse, what you think?
Well, I definitely there's a couple of things too that I kind of want to touch on that you guys have been talking about that, I don't know if you guys caught that thing I had I think I might have posted it in NGR, but I was really impressed with what Microsoft is trying to do to really push people to be able to play Sea of Thieves when it comes out. And they talked about dropping graphics and frame rate to be able to drop it to play it basically on any PC or any kind of thing that any kind of PC that has even if it's not a gaming PC, you're going to be able to play that. And I almost think from what I read in the article, I think I'm actually going to be able to play Sea of Thieves right on my my PC tablet even. So I mean, they're really going to make it so almost anyone should be able to play that game no matter what you're playing it on.
Yeah, didn't they say it was like 540p and 15 frames a second? Like you could, for like low spec computers or something.
Yeah,
low spec.
Yeah. I think you'd literally be able to play it on a Windows tablet.
Yeah, which is a good idea. That is a good idea for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I also read that I was kind of talking about it and some other stuff today on Facebook. They're gonna be dropping. They'll drop the resolution. You'll be able to have the option to drop the resolution to 1080p and have Assassin's Creed, the new one, running at 60 frames per second if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
and so they're basically, like we had talked about it last week too, with the Switch with Fire Emblem being able to sacrifice frame rate for graphics or graphics for frame rate. So I'm kind of hoping that's a trend that will be an option for almost every game moving forward. Because some people, we understand that there's only so much you can do with the hardware that, that's in a box. And to be able to let people play it how they want to play it, I think is a perfect idea. So, but as far as the question, I think they're doing a good job, and I definitely think that we're gonna have a lot to look forward to. As far as what they need to do to sell the box. And like Corey said, you've got the PUBG and all those games that I think are gonna sell systems, and and just the way that they're kind of going about with the One X,
Mm-hmm.
there's you don't have to have they're basically pushing it the way that you don't have to have a 4K TV to still get the better gameplay and stuff like that, which I think is great. I mean, like we've talked about before, load times alone a lot of the times can be an issue, and if it can fix that issue, that's a one good step in the in the right direction. So
but did you guys think that if Microsoft didn't have those pre-sales, none of this stuff would matter?
Oh yeah, honestly, I think when just from the way that they talked about the One X, and they knew that it was going to be a luxury item, and they knew that it was going to be something that not everyone is going to need right away. I think they they went into this with low expectations, and I think they surpassed them.
Well, to be fair, like they did say that this coming week, and they might already be up if because the show's going up on Wednesday. So like, they only took pre-orders for the Project Scorpio editions. They have not started pre-orders on the launch, edition. Like the regular launch editions. So
yeah,
we could potentially see more pre-orders than originally thought. You know, because like,
yeah,
I mean, if I didn't already have an Xbox One already, like I just bought an S last year, and it's a good console. It works great. You know, it runs all my games fine, and you know, it's a good system. It's a good looking system. I don't have a problem with it. You know, and if I still have my original Xbox One, I would be upgrading probably, if not this fall, then next year when Crackdown or Sea of Thieves comes out. Like, I would be upgrading the box. And I mean, to be honest, I still might and just keep this other Xbox as like, you know, a Blu-ray player, Netflix machine in the bedroom. You know, it's still a really, really good machine. You know, I'll probably upgrade at some point. You know, I've been waiting until like I upgrade my TV, which will probably be in the next 2 years, is my goal. So you know, we're gonna see these consoles blow up, you know, and as people upgrade to 4K TVs, you know, they're gonna want the better box to go with their 4K TVs. You know, the big thing right now is like people with 1080p TVs are probably not going to upgrade, but the hardcore people that want that 4K experience, they're going to buy their 4K TV and they're going to be like, I'm already spending this money, I'll just get the 4K box, you know. And you know, anecdotally, that's what I've been hearing people say about the PS4 Pro. They're like, well, I got a 4K TV, so I might as well get the Pro to get the most use out of it. Well, I think the same thing's going to happen with the Xbox One X. Is, you know, when February comes around and TVs start dropping in price hardcore, or Black Friday comes around, those TVs are going to drop hardcore. People are going to be like, oh, well, I saved all this money on a TV, I might as well get the 4K box.
Right, because that's kind of how I am. Like, my next TV, if I do 4K, I want the brand, because the brand for my 1080 is like an Emerson. I love it. There's no problem with it. And if Emerson could do a 4K and it could run fine at a great price, I'm gonna go there. If not, then I'm definitely getting a Sony 4K. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll have to spend that money. And if I want the best gaming, I mean, visually, yes, I can go for a OX, or just actually go get a Slim. But I'm like, if my old Xbox One still could make games look good on a 4K, then I'll be fine with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, before we get into questions, because I think me and you talked about this, Jesse, there was some anger about the Super Nintendo Classics, about its pre-orders. Why wasn't that anger, or why is that anger never held with any other console? It's never been held with Xbox, and it's never been held with PS4. And I know a lot of people say that, well, those consoles always have a lot in stock. But if for those people who don't care about Nintendo, why do they get upset with their pre-orders? Why, with this Project Scorpio edition that they sold out, why wasn't there a lot of anger?
I don't know.
That was so weird. You guys both cut out for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I missed the last part of what Ed said. And then all of a sudden I just heard Jesse start talking, and I was like, sorry.
Oh, okay. So sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
I'm sorry. Can you just repeat what you said?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Why it was there anger for the Super Nintendo Mini pre-orders, but there's never anger for any other console when their pre-orders are sold out?
Oh, like, because here's the thing: Nintendo never makes it clear.
Before you answer, Corey, and this is coming from people who don't care about Nintendo. So why is it?
No,
from
it's coming from people who
don't
care about Nintendo too.
But there's people who feel like, you know, Nintendo is set in their ways and they don't care about them. They're done with them, but they get angry because they can't do a pre-sale. But if you don't care about Nintendo, why would it even matter? Why, when Microsoft or Sony do a pre-sale and it sells out, there's no anger? Okay, now you can go ahead. Yes, I'm sorry.
I think the thing with the Super Nintendo is, like, nobody got mad at pre-orders for Switch because each store provided an allotment and saying, this is how many pre-orders we're taking for this thing, this is how many we're getting, and once we're out, we're out. Nintendo did not provide those numbers for the Super Nintendo and refused to comment on how many units they're producing. Like, and they did say they're producing more than the NES Classic. They did say that. But when you go to pre-order something and the crap around the NES Classic where people couldn't get one, people are starting to scalp them, like, people are trying to pre-order one, like, not just because, you know, they want one, but because the hype around it, people are afraid they're not going to be able to get one even if they don't really want one, so they're getting it. And, you know, when these pre-orders sell out, like, people are just mad because Nintendo isn't really saying anything on, like, this is the allotment we're giving each store, this is the allotment we're giving online. Are they going to be available on launch day to people who aren't pre-ordering? And, you know, a lot of it is just, like, internet hyperbole, though, first off. But, like, people are concerned that they're not going to be able to get one of these things, and they're mad because people, when they're concerned and they don't get a straight answer, or they're not getting any answer, you know, they're concerned. Now with the Scorpio edition, Microsoft did come out and say this is a limited run thing, and once they're out, but we will be taking pre-orders on the regular Xbox One X's later before launch. Like, people are okay with that because they got an answer. They got a straight answer, and that's kind of why. Whereas, you know, Nintendo is having a hard time answering this question that people are like, am I going to be able to go out and find one on launch day, and or are they just going to be sold out and I have to go on eBay for $400 or wait for an absurd GameStop bundle?
But even
I was going to say, and not to mention, they also did say that even after all the people that pre-ordered for the Scorpio, they said that they should still have a couple of them left at stores and stuff like that for people who didn't pre-order, if I remember correctly, right? So it's not just if you pre-ordered, so there is still that chance of being able to get them day one, even if you didn't pre-order, which is, you know, is kind of a nice thing. But I think the one key thing though with Nintendo is also, you've got to remember that they've given us a date that they've basically said they will not be making the Super NES classics anymore, that it will be done. Whereas you don't have that with the system. They don't say, you know, by the way, we're not going to make any more Xboxes after this day or after this year, and so you won't be able to get them at all after that if you didn't get one. So you know, that's not something you have to worry about with other systems. You don't have to worry about there becoming a day where you won't be able to get one if you don't have one. Yeah, I think that's the key thing that we're missing in this argument for why people are angry. If Nintendo didn't say that we're gonna just stop making these and we're not gonna be selling them anymore, and that wasn't the case, then I don't think there would be that big of an issue. You know, just like we were saying with the Switch, it's a bummer that it was hard to find one for a little while there. It's getting to be better, but we know there's not going to be a day where they're just going to say, you know, before everyone gets one that wanted one, that you're not going to be able to get them anymore because we're not going to make them anymore. Yeah. So I think that's the big the big key, I think, to this. Is just that lingering date of there no longer being them made anymore, and if you didn't get one, you're not going to get one.
Do you think that if Nintendo did go the route of what Microsoft did say, because they did bring warning that it is a limited run, but if they produce about, let's say, 4 times the amount and it was coming more regularly in stores and stuff, do you think that anger will kind of reside or anything? Because would that same anger be for, and I know this is probably more for Power Block, but do you think that anger will be the same thing if they do like an N64, if they do it for like a GameCube or something, or will Nintendo products always make people angry when it's limited, where Microsoft and Sony that really won't anger them because it's not limited?
I don't think so, as long as they do everyone right this time. I think the problem is all we have to go on is what they've done in the past. And so right away people think, well, okay, this is just going to be just like the NES Classic, where they're going to just completely screw it up, and not everyone's going to be able to get one, and so if they do it correctly and they do like have constant supplies of the SNES, up until, even if there is going to be a day that no one's going to be able to, that they're going to stop making them, as long as they can at least make enough that everyone who really, really wants to get one at least got one, and the people who maybe want one but they don't really know, if they don't get one they're not going to care, well then that's okay. But I think as long as they do it correctly, I think then maybe people will trust them if they do an N64 mini, and and do it the same way. Then we might see it where people aren't as angry about it right away. So I think it's just all we have to go on is the mistake that they made with the NES Classic, and maybe people are jumping to conclusions, but that's kind of what you only know what you've seen. So
yeah, and we're not gonna know until the 29th about the Super Nintendo anyways, right? Like, Ed, when you come up here, we're gonna go stand in line at Toys R Us for one, and like see when that happens, we'll have the full scoop for PAL Block and Arsenal X on just how available these are. But like, it's these pre-orders they were up for a while, so that makes me think like maybe the SNES will be available more, like way more than the NES Classic, but at the same time it's like, well, I don't know, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But like Jesse said, like the SNES has a firm end date, whereas the Xbox One X, like, that thing's gonna be around for 3, 4, 5 years down the road, until they decide A, they're gonna put out a 4th box, or B, like I don't know what the other one is, like, unless they put out another iteration, like that box is just gonna be it. So
well, okay. Well, that's everybody. That was our Arsenal exchange. We got 3 questions for you lovely viewers. Thank you once again for sending your questions. The first one up is from Todd Aksha. What beyond Halo, Gears, and Forza should Xbox be focusing for games 2018 and beyond? Besides Halo, Gears, and Forza, I think they need to return to Alan Wake. I think Alan Wake is ready, and yeah, we did have Quantum Break, but I think Alan Wake is needed for survival horror for Xbox. I think it would be kind of cool to see what they can do visually and with Xbox OX. Like, I would love to see a more darker tale of Alan Wake, or next chapter of Alan Wake.
Yeah,
me too.
I know I'm going to save this answer for another question because I think it answers another question better. But I think Fable, they need to do something with Fable. It is the perfect IP to do something like Zelda, like Horizon.
Yes,
but they get like I think they could get some writers from Rare. They could do something, even if they formed a new studio or went out and got made it a second party contract type thing. Get a British team to work on it. Take some notes from Horizon and Zelda, add the Fable flair, add the funny writing, take it back to I'd probably make it more like Fable 2. You have a dog, a pet that can roam around and help you find things. Like, Fable is ripe for a comeback, and what better way to do it than to like make this vast open world, fake English world where you go around and fight goblins and go into dungeons and solve puzzles, get some cool stuff, and level up. And with the power of the boxes now, like, you could do the age thing correctly, because like the big thing in Fable was you age as you progress, and like they could do something cool with that, so Fable, I would love to see Fable come back in a big way, and I think they could do it. I think they definitely have the money to do it. They just need to find the right team and get the right mix of people together, and Fable would be great.
Yeah, like you said, Rare definitely should be a part of that, I think.
Yeah,
I think they'd be the best for that job.
Yeah, the only thing about Rare is like how big is Rare proper now? How big is the team working on Sea of Thieves? How big is that Sea of Thieves live team going to be? Is there going to be another group that's going to be able to separate from Sea of Thieves to go work on another project? Like, Rare isn't as big as it was when Nintendo had them. A lot of those people left, and we got Ukulele out of it, and I haven't played it yet, so I don't know how great it is, but I think Rare could do it. Gosh, that'd be awesome. Oh, that'd be awesome. A Rare Fable game. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Well, we're going to move on to the next question. At CODFanFF, what old IP/games did you want to see Microsoft tackle next? And then what genre did you want that game in? So I'm going to actually go first on this one. It's a game called Kokuto Chojin. It was a fighting game that was on the regular Xbox. I think they need to jump back into the 3D fighting genre of games, because I know this one was kind of controversial that they took it out because of some monk music or some Muslim music or something, and they had to take it out before they resold it again. But I would love to see a new fighting game, and Kokuto Chojin is Microsoft's it was actually their first fighting genre that they own before they brought in Killer Instinct. So I think they should jump into the 3D fighting arena, or get an exclusive from Sega and have them bring Virtual Fighter back.
Yeah. For me, this is a hot scoop right here. Okay, hear me out. Perfect Dark, they should bring back, but I think Perfect Dark would be an awesome, futuristic game like Metal Gear Solid 5. That open world, stealthy, taking over bases, getting in there, infiltrating, getting the stuff, leveling up. Maybe have a home base that you level up. Yeah, I think Perfect Dark would be awesome. And make it like a stealthy, like a stealth
spy
action game. Yeah, instead of a first-person shooter.
What if they made it similar to like The Division, had that kind of style, like where you've got different kinds of things that you've got to go into and have people that you got to take out, and you can choose to do it in stealth or use your different gadgets to make your way through the through to the final, the final boss battle type thing, like kind of like what they have on the Division, where you got the bigger tank guy that you got to go against in the end.
Yeah, I like.
Well, wouldn't that be more of like Hitman, like the Hitman episodes?
Yeah, in a way, and I had kind of mentioned that because Corey, you've talked about this before. I remember you talking about like kind of wanting to do something with that game, and I kind of thought of that too, like almost somewhat like Hitman in a way.
Yeah, I think I like the Division idea, except I want the guns to feel like they're working. Which I haven't played the Division in a while. I don't know if they fixed that. I've heard the Division actually got a lot better since I stopped playing it. The only reason why I stopped playing the Division, by the way, is because it deleted my character. That second or third update that crashed like 30% of the players' games or whatever.
Dang.
But like I like the idea of like this open world style thing where you go on missions, but like the missions are like these. You go into these big buildings and kind of like almost Die Hard style, go in and like make your way through the building and get to the final boss at the end, and like maybe you have companions, maybe you have like a drone or something of some sort. I don't know. There's some cool things that you could do with the Perfect Dark license, and they could like reboot it and restart the canon or whatever you want to call it, but like it'd be cool. But
yeah, almost like Watch Dogs in a way too.
Yeah,
it'd be almost like a mix of Watch Dogs and Division.
Yeah, but I would want them to keep the art style, because like I thought, even though Perfect Dark Zero wasn't a great game, like I like the art style, the bright oranges and purples and greens. Like keep that art style, like not like cartoony, but kind of over the top. Futuristics, like that kind of stuff, but like I think it would be cool set in like this open world. Yeah. So that's my pick.
What about you, Jesse? What's your title?
I can't. I'm trying to think of like an IP. Like I know what I want. I just want like another. I'd love to see Condemned come back and.
Yes.
And, something like that to be explored again, like, because I mean we have technically we have games that are similar to it, but at the same time, for whatever reason, they just don't execute like the first Condemned. Like to me, like they don't have that like fear. Like the closest thing that we probably have is Resident Evil 7, probably, as far as that like scary, not seeing people and them just kind of popping out of nowhere and stuff like that. But I'm just such a big fan of those the scary type games, so like that's the first thing that comes to mind. Otherwise, and this, I don't know how well this would go over with people, but I loved the Sub-Zero, I believe it was, games where they had where you played as Sub-Zero and you kind of went around and did stuff, like I forget what they were called.
Mortal Kombat Stories or something like that.
Oh, yeah, it was the mythology games.
Yeah, where you played as Sub-Zero and you kind of went around and you actually had like a storyline and did stuff. I wouldn't mind seeing them doing something like that with the characters from Killer Instinct. Like having a game where you actually really get to understand the storylines of some of the characters and like where they're coming from and stuff from Killer Instinct. Like have like a story type game and use some of those characters.
Yeah.
Right. I guess that would be something that would be an IP. So, but I think I would like that.
All right, cool. Well, our last question comes from Danny Swinginger. Just found the show and I love it. And are there any games or IP that you think Microsoft can push to take advantage of the X? I think they can. The games I think that could push the X. I would kind of love to see Lost Odyssey come back and make a Lost Odyssey 2 and really detail that world.
Don't tease me, man. Why do you got to do that to me?
Yeah, I mean, because I would have said Blue Dragon, but I know that's more of a comedic. But I think Lost Odyssey 2, if they were able to bring that game, like just do a sequel to it and bring that world, I think it would be phenomenal.
It ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What about you, Jesse?
Yeah, I definitely think that there's I mean, and not to mention, I mean, we don't know exactly what we're going to be seeing coming up soon, like we talked about earlier, that they talked about having a lot of stuff that they're working on but just not wanting to talk about it too early. Obviously that doesn't really have a whole lot to do with this now, because that's later, but yeah, for me, like, one of the big things for me is I loved the first State of Decay game, and
okay.
And I really think that this the one that they're coming out with now, I think it's going to have a much more broad appeal, because they really seem to be adding a lot more things that people enjoy in those kind of games, and fixing some of the things that that wasn't liked as much in the original one. And I think this game is going to be a pretty good experience, and I definitely think that it could help push sales. I mean, it's not like the bigger one that anyone's talking about maybe as much right now. I think maybe more Sea of Thieves is kind of still got people's attention, just because of the people just kind of wondering what it's about, and sometimes that works, sometimes it can hurt it. But I think once people start releasing a little bit about State of Decay 2 and like what it's like, and kind of like you had with the Zelda game for the Switch, people played it and talked about it, and I think that State of Decay 2 could be a game that would help push sales.
Yeah. And Corey, what about you?
Oh, geez. I don't even know right now. I think the games they want to really push the X with is, like, I'm sure Forza Horizon 4, which I'm sure is going to be the next game next year, the next Forza game. I'm sure that game, in terms of just, like, the scope of the world that they're trying to build, and, like, it's basically open world racing, and, like, that's going to really push it. I'm sure Gears of War 5 and Halo 6 are going to push the hardware. I would really like to see Crackdown work out. I would really like to see them push that. I think... I really don't know, because we don't know what's in development yet. I think whatever that new IP that they said is, quote, Horizon-like, that they're working on but don't have anything to announce...
Yes.
That's going to be the game that shows off. We can hit 4K 60 frames with all these awesome textures and, controls and whatever. That's going to be able to push the hardware. I think maybe a third-party game like Anthem is going to be able to push hardware.
Yeah, I think Anthem is going to be like the leading game for it.
Yeah,
to push.
And not because, like, the thing about Anthem is, like, not a lot of the processing of the world is being done on the box itself. It's all server based, but, like, your character and your loadouts and stuff are going to be able to be processed by the box, which I think, with the less stress on the box producing the world, the more the box can focus on making your character look freaking awesome, or the weapons you're using awesome, or You know, it's similar to what Destiny does. You know, but not to that extent, because Destiny is not. Don't get me wrong, Destiny is a good-looking game, but it is not hardware pushing by any means. So, you know, I think it's going to probably be Anthem or whatever that new IP they're working on is.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously PUBG, like we said earlier, is probably going to be a big thing to push too.
I think PUBG, in terms of like the way the system's going to handle that game, I don't know if it's going to push the hardware visually, but I can see a lot of things behind the scenes, like they're rendering the game, like the draw distance, a smooth 60 frames a second. Like, you know, I think that's the stuff that the box is going to help, that, you know, may not be noticeable right off the bat, but when you see side-by-side comparisons to an S or even an original model, you're going to be able to see, oh, I can see like 50 meters farther on the X than I could on an S, you know, which is if you're a sniper, that's a big draw, you know. So
yeah.
Well, everybody, that has been Arsenal X. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Just hit the like section for NGR Radio and comment. We want to hear what you guys think about pre-sales and any anger, or, you know, your thoughts on Xbox in general or Microsoft. Just let us know in the comment section of when you guys see this video, or email us. I'm going to turn it actually over to Corey, so he could plug the show, and then I'll do a little bit of my plugs. And we hope everybody had a great Labor Day. And Corey, I hand it over to you.
Okay, so you can find Arsenal X on iTunes, Shout Engine, Google Play Music, Stitcher. Now you can find it on the NGR Radio YouTube page and on ngrradio.com. You know, we've got a new look for the show on video, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think it looks pretty cool. I hope you guys think it looks cool too. But you can find it every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on everywhere that I just said. You can join the Facebook group. Join the Arsenal X Facebook group. Help us grow. We're going to take down the Xbox dive. We're coming for you, Jamie. Coming for you. Coming for you, Chris. Ah! Yeah. I'm just kidding. I love those guys. Those guys are... did you see their old network now has a show called Xbox Drive? Nah, that's just funny. I'm sorry.
Look, I watched them on Mixer, and I messed up their whole conversation because I was having a side conversation, and it was just getting like really creating like a show within the show, and Jamie was just like, oh, because this Ed, oh, like, and then he was just like, yeah, we're gonna have to have him on the show. I was just like, dude, I'm ready to talk Xbox.
We need to have them on this show too. We just have like this 5-way conversation going. It'd be great.
I listen to their show all the time too. It's a good show.
Yeah, I love Jamie and Josh Brandt too from Life of Gaming. I know that show's on hiatus, but they're both doing their own platform-specific podcasts now. I think Josh is still on the Shotcast, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones that allowed me to start podcasting, which was cool. So, yeah, you should listen to those two shows too. But back to NGR Radio. You download our family of shows. We've all got email addresses. If you are interested in Nintendo, check out Pal Block, where Ed and I are. Nerds Gone Platinum, which is our PlayStation-centric show. Moose and Jason talk about trophies and stuff, whatever that means. I don't care. Sorry. No, I love my PlayStation, but trophies are not something that I really care about. But I love those guys, and that show has gotten pretty big. Congratulations to them. It's getting close to battling us at Pal Block. So, but anyways, you can email the show at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow me at Corey in UHD on Twitter, Corey in HD on Instagram and Twitch, and also like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. Help us grow. Yay!
You guys can hear my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. You can follow me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. You can also check me out on Nintendo Power Block. Definitely check me out here on Arsenal X. I believe I'm the new host. So once again, thank you, Corey, for that. And then you guys can check me.
You say that so sadly.
No, because I'm very happy. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to host. Thank you for believing in me. It means a lot to me. You guys, if you want to join me on Xbox, mine is the Lyrical One, capital DALYRICAL, the number 1. You can also check out, let's pod and play. I always say, hey, let's pod and play. You can check that out also on NGR Radio on YouTube. We got new episodes that will be coming soon, so guys, do check that out. And also check out my Twitch page, the Lyrical One, where I do my Let's Learn series. Last episode that you guys could check out in the archive, I talked about Camera and Near Automata, so you guys could check that out, or even go back and listen to me talk about shooters with Ikaruga and Gears of War 4. Jesse, where can we find you?
I'm on Twitter. You can find me at sub_humanist on Twitter, and Jesse Douglas on Facebook. If you want, you can add me on there. And then usually I hang out in the NGR radio community, so posting stuff in there, and anything that's interesting, I try to post stuff in there and share stuff and get conversations going. So
yes. And with that, everybody, this is our Arsenal X, NGR's Xbox podcast. We throw up the X any way that you want to, and we throw it down. So we'll see you guys next week on Arsenal X. Make sure your Arsenal is ready to go. All right, then, everybody. We are out. Bye.
Look out for the X shirts with literally the hands making an X.